And when we talk about Wemby, let me tell y'all this, real talk, and I really feel this deep in my soul.
Okay.
30 years from now, in no particular order, the GOAT conversation is going to go Jordan, Braun, and Wemby. This man has officially taken over the NBA. The NBA belongs to Wemby for the next 10 years. This is Wemby's world, and everyone is trying to get an apartment in it. I have never seen a guy that is so dominant on both ends of the floor. I'm already watching the greatest defender I've ever seen with my own two eyes. We know that he's going to block shots. We know his capability of being able to switch out and guard on the perimeter. But the thing that stands out to me the most is that when he's able to go and contest the shot with one hand and the other hand, while he's in the air, take away drop-off passes to the bigs, I've never seen nothing like that in my damn life.
Yeah, he's special.
Special is an understatement.
Okay.
I don't even know a word to describe him. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about him no more. He and this youth, this whole narrative of this youth thing, before I switched over and went to picked Minnesota for this series, I did come out and say that the San Antonio Spurs could win the NBA championship, right? And Wemby kept saying, we don't care about people saying we don't have experience. You know why? Because they young, but like my grandma used to say, they got old souls, baby.
Yes,
they got old souls.
Traveled souls. I mean, when we heard Wemby, fresh out of the draft, this guy from France is number one. He might be the greatest of all time. He was talking about how the universe and he kind of understand each other. Then he went and trained with monks for his mind. And then he went with Kevin Garnett. Then he's playing chess. Then he's elbowing people in the face. He's pump faking in the paint and passing it off. He's swatting. He's dunking. This guy seems to be everything. I'm excited to see what they say.
Wembanyama has the ball a lot and is doing a lot. Wembanyama got 16 of their 24. Wemby's back. High archer is good. Took it and made it. Wow. You make me feel 18-point hole they have dug out of. Oh, 2 feet for the dunk. 7 straight for the Spurs. 1 win from the Western Conference Finals.
Merci beaucoup, my friend.
Wemby was back, and it was a beatdown, just not in the literal sense like it was in Game 4. Game 6 goes down in Minnie on Friday, and the reason we even have a Game 6, Anthony Edwards continues to hoop his tail end off. Ant's leading the team in scoring this series, but Chris Finch knows that that's just how it's got to be if they want to win this series.
We need those games from him, that we know he can have, and so I think Ant's got a lot left in the tank. We talked about the 2-day break. We know he's going to be super aggressive coming out here. We know they're going to try to throw multiple bodies and multiple looks at him. Things that we're ready for, he's ready for, and we just got to get him a lot more shots.
Conventional wisdom would tell you if your superstar scores more, you should win more. Has not been the case for Minnesota, though. Wolves actually own a losing record when Ant goes for 20 or more this postseason compared to a 3-1 record when he's held under 20. And even with that, Ant-Man ain't shown a lick of back down in this series. Speaking of that sort of mentality, Kendrick Perkins, kind enough to kick it with us here on SportsCenter. Perk, let's get into these Game 6s that we have on Friday. Pistons and T-Wolves fighting for their lives, backs against the wall. Who's better equipped to scrap their way out and force a Game 7?
Well, I got to listen, that Cavs series is over. I'm leaning more towards Minnesota. Anthony Edwards is going to get his lick back at home. You know one thing about Anthony Edwards, he has a hatred for losing. I expect the others to play better, but I'm looking at Julius Randle. He has been basically a no-show in this series, and it's time for him to level up. It's time for him to be that Robin to Anthony Edwards. All this 12, 13, 17 points, turning over the ball, it got to stop. Julius Randle is too talented, he's too versatile on both ends of the floor not to be having a real powerful impact. I expect Julius Randle to be the X factor at the crib in Minnesota, get Game 6, heading back to San Antonio for Game 7.
Yeah, physicality is part of that brother's brand. So, yeah, that's a fair expectation. But I want to go back to something that you originally said, bro. You said that the Pistons series is over. What's the problem with Detroit then? We're talking about a #1 seed over the course of the regular season.
Yeah, but they're young, and we're watching Cade Cunningham right now, and look, he's giving you all that he possibly can, but he's running out of gas in these 4 quarters, and Cleveland is doing an excellent job of trapping him and mixing it up, and they're saying, hey, you know what, someone else has to beat us. And right now, when you look at who's been their Robin all season long, it's been Jalen Duren. He was benched in the 4th quarter last game because he's going through these growing pains. He's mentally not there. And from my experience of playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially in the postseason, that arena is going to be rocking. And I just don't see the Detroit Pistons walking into that environment with a Cleveland Cavaliers team who's playing with a lot of confidence. And we're looking at that dynamic backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, who has found their groove offensively, getting the win. And Cleveland is going to close that one out.
Yeah, finding the groove offensively feels like something the Pistons are unable to do right now outside of Cade Cunningham. Let's switch over to the NFL, though, Perk. I know the regular season schedules just dropped today. And
Your game day money moments are covered. From splitting tailgates to chipping in for tickets for food between friends, PayPal makes it fast and easy to send money, even to friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Download the PayPal app and keep your game day moving. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
We are on Sports Night here on ESPN Radio. ESPN 2, we are presented by Progressive Insurance. Cam Pratt doing a tremendous job today of playing the wrong music for different teams. This is the Heat intro that they play. So we have...
Do you think any of us on this show...
Stop making everything about the Heat. How is that? I'm just saying you played Cheeseburger in Paradise for the Packers.
Yeah, cheese. Everyone got it.
Pistons, Cavs tonight. Spurs, Timberwolves tonight. Which one's more likely to go to Game 7?
Spurs Timberwolves.
Agreed.
Okay, so then you just made an insanely bold statement I want to hear more on. So you think the Cavs-Pistons is donezo?
Yeah, it's over.
Tonight in Cleveland, it's done.
Yes.
You're letting everybody know that. It's done.
Yes.
Wow. Smalls, you're saying it's done too? Pistons are dead at this point.
I said Minnesota, San Antonio more because of the confidence I have in Minnesota and Ant Edwards. Like his commentary after the game where he said he doesn't see anybody in the locker room that's worried. There's another basketball game. Come out, put your boots on, get ready to go to war. I think Minnesota is going to be really fired up for this game, and they've found interesting ways to win this postseason. They've very much had a next man up mentality. They've been a tough out, even when their backs are against the wall. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at a Game 7 between these two, and if Minnesota takes it to San Antonio.
And Knicks and Thunder. If you're them right now, just sitting around waiting, both teams trying to get guys healthy, Jalen Williams for the Thunder, OG Anunoby for the Knicks specifically, is there a specific rooting interest that you would have, whether it's team?
Yeah, if you're the Thunder, you want this to go 7 games because you're hoping that Minnesota comes out of this series in the semis. You don't want to deal with Wemby. You haven't had very much luck throughout the course of the regular season when you're faced to San Antonio. Right? You played 5 times, you only won 1 of those games. So you want it to be a 7-game series because that's the only chance that Minnesota has of coming out of that series.
You also want it to go 7 because this has been an incredibly physical series.
No doubt about it.
Whoever you're going to face, you want them to be as worn down as possible.
You want somebody to be tenderized.
Exactly. No doubt. We're not going to cuss at them. No chance.
So what's interesting about this, though, is if Minnesota were to come back and win this series, there's a part of me that would say if I'm Oklahoma City, I know you can beat anyone, but like that's the level of momentum that Ant-Man would have. That would be 3 straight Western Conference Finals, which is one more than Daryl Morey had in 19 years as a GM.
Oh my God.
No, I just want to make sure that people are aware of that.
How did you work Daryl Morey into
It's
that, man?
amazing
Well, no, I'm just saying.
how you find a way to throw shade at Daryl Morey.
Numerically,
The
I'm
man
just saying.
got fired. He ain't got no job, and you still talking about it.
I'm pretty good at the winning thing.
He's got a lot of money, I'll tell you that much. But anyway, point is.
He got fired on his day off.
Point is, that would be 3 straight Western Conference Finals and coming back from 3-2 down against Wemby. You don't think is there anything to the concept of momentum going into the next round? Because you could say Oklahoma City is rooting for the Spurs to lose, but the Spurs losing would mean a great comeback for the T-Wolves and maybe this invincibility feeling that they would have now moving forward. No?
No.
No, okay.
No.
I tried. Sorry, Minnesota. I tried here.
No.
I tried. So are we just then? So 3 teams in your mind are really trending towards the finals? In your minds, how many teams right now could you even envision in the finals?
The Knicks, obviously the Thunder, and the Spurs.
CC? Because you just wrote off Minnesota, and you wrote off Detroit.
I'm really writing off. Well, yeah, because I think the Spurs could beat the Thunder.
I do too. I
And-
could see 3 teams in the finals: Knicks,
Yeah.
Thunder, Spurs.
All right, so let me
And
make
even with that, the Spurs are number 3 on that list because
Yeah.
of the depth of OKC and obviously the muscle memory, the championship muscle memory.
Let me make
Not
a case
according to
for
Sam
Cleveland.
Mitchell, they're not.
Well, let me make a case for Cleveland then.
Go ahead.
And I don't want this to be an anti-Knicks thing at all. I want this to be a pro-Cleveland thing. Cleveland has been good for the last few years since Donovan Mitchell has been there.
Yeah.
They make the coaching change from JB Bickerstaff, who is a very good coach. Obviously, you see what he's done with Detroit. They make the in-season trade with James Harden, who I do not think is a big game playoff performer, but the last couple of games he has played well, to his credit. They have tremendous depth. They can play double bigs. They have guys that have been there and done that, like Max Strus and Dennis Schroeder from either Olympics or playoffs or whatever. And they have a clear best player on the team. Again, so all these things, the Knicks can say the exact same thing. The Knicks are awesome. But the Cavs have a lot of things that you would look at and say, who am I going to go to in a big spot? Donovan Mitchell, no doubt. Can I play multiple ways? Yes, because I can play Allen and Mobley. And then if I want to take one of them out, probably Allen in that spot, can I go small ball? Yes, you can. You can do that, obviously, with Evan Mobley at center. And Max Strus is 6'5"-ish and big and strong enough to attempt to guard a bigger player. So, like, you can do things with them that I think would be versatile relative to lineups. So don't the Cavs have a lot of what it takes to potentially make a run to the finals?
Yeah, the Cavs can score a lot. They can score with the Knicks. The problem is they don't play defense nearly as well as the Knicks. And that becomes the question. And that's the biggest difference between the Knicks last year and this year. Mike Brown did what Tom Thibodeau couldn't. Get Karl Anthony Towns to lock in on the defensive end of the court and play like a 7-foot player. So I respect everything that Cleveland has done this season. I just don't think Cleveland can get the requisite stops that it's going to take to beat the Knicks in the conference finals.
Very quickly, we have 6 teams left in the NBA, okay? Can we just rank very quickly most to least likely to get to the finals? So most would be Oklahoma City.
Yep.
Yes.
Second,
Knicks.
Actually, no. No. I wouldn't put OKC number 1.
Really?
No. I think I would put the New York Knicks.
Wow. I have Knicks too.
Most
right.
likely to get to the finals. What? I think I would put the Knicks number 1.
Nuno doesn't like that you did that.
Why?
Because he feels like it's
well, that's also his viewpoint of the opponents.
That's what I'm saying.
So wait, Smalls has, CC has the Knicks.
I have OKC, then the Knicks.
Okay, and then you have what,
Spurs
CC?
3.
Wait, hold on. CC, you have Oklahoma City too?
Yes.
Okay. So then 3 Spurs for both of you.
Yes.
4
4.
Minnesota for me.
Okay. CC?
Agreed.
Mini for both of you at 4. Who's 5 then?
Cavs.
Cavs.
Yep.
And who's 6? So then 6 obviously would be
Detroit.
Detroit. Okay. So the real
Sorry, Javante.
The only
Yeah, our bad.
discrepancy
Love ya.
is most likely to get to the finals, which is in large part based on path. Small says, I don't care about the path. It's Oklahoma City. Have you not watched them? They haven't
They're
lost
so
the
good.
game. CC says, yeah, Oklahoma City's great. I could envision the Spurs beating them. The Knicks' path is much easier. Fascinating. Fascinating. Our buddy David Dennis Jr. will join us, weigh in on this and other things as well coming up next. We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance.